This is the Paludarium so far.
What you can see at the side here is the area I've made for the filter.
This is what I've built from scratch. And I've put some silicone on the top for the glass bits here. So just waiting to have that set and then work on the inside.
Here we have another view of the filter area. What I find with most paludariums that you see made on YouTube, they don't consider how they filter the water. So they put the filter somewhere behind a bunch of rocks. But when you have to clean that, you've got to take everything back out again. So my thought was to make a box where 2 filter pads, one coarse, one fine, could be in it. And then behind that would be the ceramic stones where bacteria could grow. And behind that would be a small pump that would circulate the water. So on the inside I was planning to put expanded foam. Wasn't quite sure how I was going to do this, but the idea was that I would use expanded foam to come up over the side and along all the way along the back to make like a river bank. And that went fine. As the foam was still sticky, I covered it in coconut husk, which you will see shortly as the background. I was a little bit wary of using expanded foam. I'd seen a lot of things online, the difficulties of using it, etc. But decided to give it a go. And actually, it wasn't that bad at all. In fact, it was quite easy to use. Happy to recommend it, really. It's not bad at all.
The Paludarium as it stands still needs some work. So this tube of cork you can see here is going to be used to hide the tubing, potentially, of a small pump that's going to come here to bring water up and over along here. Now this pump won't be part of the filtration system, that's all down here. The pump for that brings water up here, but it only brings water down this side. So I've got to find a way to circulate that, and what I'm trying to do is ensure that this part of the Paludarium gets water over it as well, so that I can have moss and plants growing on here. So in this spot, that's where we're going to add a small pump. I'm possibly going to cut out the expanded foam there, make it a shell to cover, and then put the pump behind and a tube coming up to here. Then allow the water to come across and down naturally. We're going to see how that goes. This tube has been bought, this tube of cork has been bought so that we can hide the tube if necessary. Now the other thing I'm toying with is where the heater for the water will go, and also if I use a flow peller, I'm not sure that's the right word, but basically something that will help flow the water, and that will push it this way so that it goes through the filter. So that's the conundrum. I'm working on it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so finally we have this little pump here that has arrived. Now the plan is to set it in here, so I'm going to cut this bit out. It's all stuck in, so it's going to be an interesting conundrum to sort out, but I don't think it's going to be difficult. We're going to set the pump in there. The tube will come up and it'll help to run water across here across the top, because the pump here that is working the filter isn't going to feed that right across. We're going to cut out some of this. We'll see how that goes, and we'll replace various bits of coconut husk. Okay, so I've got this to hide the tubing, potentially the pump as well, and we'll set about that and see how it goes. we've cut this piece away. We've put the pump in there. We've got the tube. We've cut around the other side. I'm just going to show you that. So we have here the pipe coming down. We've cut a little bit out the back. It wasn't that easy. And now we've got this tube coming over the top. Okay. So we now have to sort that out so that it's going to basically run the water across this top part of the river scene and down along the wood and over the huskings. Okay, let's see how that goes.
So sadly, I didn't take photos and videos all the way through the putting together of this paludarium, so you have my apologies, but this is roughly how it was as it was finished. The pumps worked well. I managed to make holes in the tube at the top to get the water to flow down. It's working nicely. This was literally as it had just been filled, and then I added fish, which you'll see in the next little clip, video clip coming up. It was an interesting experience, and obviously being an organic thing, there were various changes to come, and you'll see at the end, the very last, how the paludarium is now. It's grown, it's changed, and it's living a very organic life. It's working well. The filter may need improving, but at least it's workable.
It's all still settling down. But I'm quite happy with it. Let's just bring you up. It's really annoying why this thing keeps refocusing itself. Let's take you right in. We'll try and get a better camera on this.
Here is a photo of the paludarium as it stands today. As you see, the moss has grown really well. There have been many babies born. One thing I would add is that if you are after your fish to breed and that the babies survive, I would add in an area that could be termed or considered a nursery. Make an area where the babies can hide and the adults can't get to them. It's a really useful thing, especially if you're looking to have babies from your fish. It's been a great exercise. It's been really interesting. It was a challenge from the start, and I'm really proud of the result. I hope you like it.